how do you build and maintain those like, relationships? Like, how do you make sure, they're coming back? How do you like keep them like, closer to you, like interested? Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like dating. Like, I'm just saying, it's kind of like dating. Like, you just have to make somebody, like, you just have to, okay, not in, schedule some posts. That's another LinkedIn tip. Just schedule the post, use ChatGPT, throw a picture, use, like, out somewhere. Like, it doesn't always have to be something
so glamorous.
Yes, or so professional. Yeah, like, or if you just went and volunteered, or you just gave somebody some food, or you paid for somebody's, like, just post on LinkedIn. Like, people just, they also want to get to know you there too. Like, I was scared.
Oh my God.
Like, when I say stressed, I don't smoke, but I was go smoke a cigarette. I was like, where's the call? Where's my manager?
Hey, everybody. Welcome back, HackerProof family. We have another segment for you today. Today, we have a guest that is currently in tech sales, currently a senior program manager, transitioning to be a national channel manager. Guys, she's doing big things. Here we have Diondra.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hey guys, I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you. Yes, oh my goodness.
Super excited.
Thank you for joining us. Like we said, this is just a channel for us to educate our viewers, watchers around the world about different roles in tech. Today we're going to be focusing on tech sales with your vast experience. So let's begin. Can you tell us about your journey? How did you get here? Let the viewers know.
Okay. It has been a journey. So buckle up. No, just kidding. I started in social work, actually. So I did not start in tech. I did not even know that the role, the job, the industry that I'm in right now existed. I started as a social worker, and I did that for a few years and then decided, yeah, this is not for me. So I decided to go back to school. And while I was in school, I actually started working at Apple part-time.
Amazing.
So Genius Bar, shout out to Apple.
Shout out to Apple.
It was an amazing experience. I used to do it part-time while I was going to school, and I had a full-time job. And from that, there was a guy there that just randomly was like, hey, I'm leaving to go to this company called Genesis. And I'm like, what's that?
Yeah.
And I was finishing up my MBA, so I literally just went and applied for every job on their website. Like, I probably applied for the CEO position. Like, I just wanted to know.
That was the energy, man. That was the energy.
You got in for the stars,
Yeah. She was for the stars. Yeah. So they called me back. Yeah. So that was kind of like what got me the start of my journey. Really, I feel like working part-time at Apple, and then, it just pivoted me into this, place I'm in.
We love your story. What a testimony. Yes, I love that.
Yes. So it's been good. It's been about 5 years now. It's like,
oh, wow, that's
yes.
Congrats.
So hype on social media to be,
So like, what's like a typical day to day for you? Like, what do you do actually?
Mm-hmm. So currently, I'm working as a senior program manager for a contact center company. So we sell contact center software and platforms. And on a day-to-day basis, I'm typically trying to find ways to incentivize our partners to sell our software.
Right. Gotcha.
So when you introduced me earlier, you said that I'm transitioning into a role for a national channel manager. Yes. So currently I work in the channel, which is essentially an ecosystem of partners who sell contact center, or they sell software for just all different types of vendors. So these are entrepreneurs that decided to just go off and do their own thing, but they learned this technology from working at companies like what we work at. Right. So I find ways to incentivize them to sell our contact center software, how to spot a deal, just giving them easy to use tools to incentivize them to come, educate them in different ways. So a lot of what I'm doing now is preparing me for my next role as a national channel manager, and I'll have more of a hands-on experience, but I'm transitioning, so I've been doing in-person events, meeting with partners, having conversations, building my brand as well. So it's been super exciting.
So are you incentivizing them to, because you say contact, what was the word you said, contact center?
Yes.
Contact center software.
Okay, so let me break it down to you, like how I tell my family. Right. Because, of course, nobody knows what our jobs are in our family. They're just like, she just works in tech. But, so, when you call into AT&T or you have an issue with anything as a customer or a consumer, and you call in and they give you like that automated message and they say press 1 for this department. So we sell that, we create that software and we sell it to companies and they customize it for their customers.
Oh, okay.
And then when you get a hold of somebody after the wait, we all know there's a wait.
Let's never go into that.
Yes, the platforms that the agents are actually using to talk to you is our platform, right? So we kind of like, I want to say we orchestrate the customer experience. So we make it easy for you to communicate with different businesses. So we do things like bots, so you can, chat on the website at 3 o'clock in the morning or get a text or WhatsApp message or, communicate with businesses however you see fit for yourself.
So your software can be used by any type of company that services customers.
Yes.
Not just,
So it's customer experience focused. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, and so for your role, right, did you feel like you had to be good at selling to get into tech sales? Like, what are some soft skills that, helped you become successful in this role?
I feel like my number one skill is smiling. Like, everybody loves my smile. But no, I definitely feel like my mom would say I've always been a seller. She might call me a con artist sometimes. But I think it's about building relationships and actually focusing on the people versus on what you're trying to sell them. Because for me, I recognize that people buy things or they buy in or they let you lead them when they like you.
Right.
And when they feel like you like them or you want to get to know them or understand them. So I felt like that was one of the bigger soft skills that you have to develop. It's not just like, being super competitive or trying to have the best rates. It's really like, how do you treat people? How do you make them feel? And they'll come back. They'll buy from you. Even if they don't buy right now, they're going to find a way to use your service.
Yeah, because like I was going to get into that because I wanted to ask, like, how do you build and maintain those, like, relationships? Like, how do you make sure, they're coming back? How do you like keep them closer to you, like interested? Yeah.
It's kind of like dating. Like I'm just saying, it's kind of like dating. Like you just have to make somebody. Like you just have to. Okay, not in the same sense.
That's crazy.
But I'm saying because like you have to treat people like you care. Like you get what I'm saying? Just check on them. Ask about their family. Ask about exactly. Hit them up. If they email you, email them back. Come on. Hey, no, that's a part of what I do. I'm gonna take on the breakfast,
communication,
lunch.
basically.
You get what I'm saying? So it's literally like dating, and we have like a lot of events, national events or like regional events, and you just want to make sure again, like you meet up with them, like you nurture your connection with somebody. So that's really what I think is the key to it. And it becomes organic. You know what I'm saying? It becomes organic. Like, of course, your focus area or your priorities, but once you get to know people, you take an interest in them. You know about their families, what vacations they're taking. Like, that's the stuff that you talk about. It's not talking shop. So it's not as cut and dry or as painful to be like, we got to hop on Zoom for 30 minutes. It's like, you just, like, you're calling a friend.
Exactly.
So with that being said, right, what are the benefits or what do you really like about your job and what don't you like about it?
So we can talk about national channel manager because that's what I'm transitioning to. So right now I'm kind of like finding my likes and don't likes, right? So what I do like about my job is building relationships. So I like that, and I also enjoy public speaking. It's something that I'm very passionate about, and connecting with others. That's something that I find super enjoyable, right? It's like, it's fun. I get to travel. I get to stay in nice places, so those are things that I really love about what I'm doing. Managing relationships, because again, it's like dating. So everybody's not always going to be happy with you. Like sometimes you have to make them hard phone calls or cringy phone calls, or you don't agree with a decision that's being made, but you know that's just a decision that's coming down from the top. So I think that that's something, managing and navigating and, you know, resolving conflict is something that
Resolving conflict.
Yeah, but this can really go left. It could really go in terms of like being sensitive or something if the person is not really relating to what you're saying.
And I think that's why the personal relationship is important first, right? Because you can manage someone who's really upset if y'all have a personal connection versus somebody that doesn't really know you, or they don't really care for you, or they feel like you tricked them or lied to them. If you've been consistently showing up, like people will give you more grace. So I think that's
so basically this is like high level customer service.
Yes, absolutely. Because you're doing this with like companies and also entrepreneurs, right? So entrepreneur, like I don't know who is more who has their heart more invested in the outcome of a situation than somebody whose livelihood
is dependent
on the line, like make or break. This could be like the biggest deal of their year, or they might be trying to take their family on a vacation. I mean, obviously, but you know what I'm saying? Like you can get very emotionally, you know, tied to a situation like that. So if you have a relationship with that person, you know, they will give you more grace, and it won't be like, I'll never use your services. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So tech sales, right, there's the people part of it, but there's also the technical aspect of it as well. Or is there a technical aspect of it?
So going back to my journey into tech, so I have like more of I feel like I'm a pivoter, right? I have pivoted into different places. So when I originally started in tech, I was actually in a technical role. I was a solution consultant or solution engineer. So I did technical demonstrations of the software at my previous company. And so I have like a vast knowledge of technical. Whereas on the sales side, no. They don't know nothing. So I kind of have like an advantage, right? Because I can talk through things that most people can't, and I can understand issues because my job was essentially to solve problems with technology, right? So, but in the new capacity, I don't need that. And originally, it has been hard for me to take that hat off because I did that for 4.5 years. So it's like that's kind of how my brain thinks. That's how my brain operates. But in this new transition into the sales side of things, you don't need it as much. It's a nice to have. It's definitely a nice to have. But it's more of you being able to sell yourself.
Gotcha. So tech sales does not need tech experience. Like, you don't need tech experience.
I wouldn't say you need tech experience. I don't feel like you have to know technology in depth. Not at all. Like a lot of the conversations that we're having in tech sales are high level, and they're also focused on business outcomes. If that makes sense. So it's more of like the numbers, the ROI, like how many leads you've gotten, conversions, things like that. And those types of benefits to businesses versus how does this work and what the APIs are doing.
So basically you just need a base level of understanding.
And honestly, a lot of this can be taught. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're learning at a high level. If you know how to sell, you can sell anything.
Basically.
You can sell anything. It's just new terminology, right? Like that's all it is.
So like so for example, let's say I'm coming from a nursing degree, right? Like I come to you. What advice would you give me for me looking to start, like, you know, in that space?
So for me, this is what I tell people, and I'm gonna give y'all some free game. But I always encourage people to look at technologies in the field that they're currently in, to see how they can leverage the experience that they have utilizing those technologies to work for those companies. Essentially, it's like if you're a nurse, like I wouldn't say go back and get your PMP. It's like, no, you want to work in tech, what systems do you guys use? What are you logging into? Are you using Epic? Are you using Salesforce? Are you using, you know what I'm saying, different healthcare technologies? Apply for those companies because you've already been a user. So you have a different lens. You get what I'm saying? And then they also are going to take the experience that you have into consideration, you know, or looking within your organization for tech opportunities. Like, you do not have to work for a tech company to work in tech, if that makes sense. So I always want to tell people to start in the industry that they're in and then work their way out.
Get your foot in.
Because you don't want to start from scratch, right? You want to start with the experience that you have. So being able to leverage that and then, you know, pivot, find different roles, learn what those roles are before you try to just transition into tech because you want a bigger bag. We all know. Exactly. We all know why you're doing it. But I mean, I love it. I love that for you, but I just don't want you to start at a low level when you could leverage what you've already done in your career.
And speaking of that bag, right? So one of the biggest conceptions of tech sales is y'all make a lot of money because software. I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying that, because, like, for instance, software is not cheap. Like, software ranges from, like, hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars.
Right.
And my understanding is that you guys get a percentage of that sale. And that's why you guys make so much money. Clear the air. Or,
drop it on us.
I want to know.
Let me add on to that. So is it commission based or is it salary? Because are you selling any software? Or
y'all want the tea.
Yes, we do. We do.
Okay. So I will say you do get a salary. So, I mean, it's not what people think, or it's not like other sales industries, right? With, you get a nice base. Like, you get a livable base, and then you get a salary. I mean, you get a commission number on top of that. But I mean, obviously that's contingent on whether or not you achieve your goal, right? And if you consistently underperform, it's sales, right? So sales always wants top performers, top earners. You want to be the best because you want to be able to get the biggest bag you can. So if you underperform consistently, then you're probably not going to be there. But you can survive. You can survive off your salary. The commission is definitely a plus, but it can get astronomical, like, depending on, like, what your multipliers and stuff are. I think that was another thing that I noticed when I moved from a technical role to a sales role. So when I was in a technical role, I still had commission, but the cap on your commission is way different when you're in a sales role.
It's limited,
like, you can make 200% of your, you get what I'm saying? Like, just like, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
Wait,
it is.
Of your commission or something like that.
Okay.
Like,
so so, like, you know, on the, like, you know, commission side, right? Can you give us, like, you know, range of the percentage you can get off, like, one deal?
So I can only speak to how we do it, right? Because I'm not in direct sales. So direct sales is like, you have a number on your back. Whatever you do is all on you, whereas I'm in the partner ecosystem. So it's a shared number. We have a shared number. It's like, what do we do? What does this other team do? And it's all just based in one bucket, and you get a commission based off of everyone's performance. So that is different. But I would say you get a figure, right? You get a figure that is 100% of your goal. If you do 100%, you get, I'm going to just use $40,000 more. Okay. I'm not going to go crazy. I ain't going to get y'all too ready to jump. But okay, so say your commission is, you know, $40,000 if you meet 100% of the goal. Right. Well, after that $40,000, there start to become multipliers on your commission. So you can reach up to 200% of that goal, and you can get 80,000. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, that's a big difference, right? When I was in a technical role, 100% was probably not going to happen, but I knew I was capped out at 40, whereas now it's like 80 is possible, so you want to shoot for 80. Like, everybody want to make it's, you know, close to 100 or over as they can. I mean, obviously, we know with the economy, that's not happening right now, but it's just like the possibility is there when you in that type of role. That's what I would say. Okay. But for direct sales, they get up. I mean,
They're going crazy.
They be going crazy.
That's
They be going
I do have a
crazy.
question
Yeah.
though. So is the commission based on like teams?
So from in the sector of the business I am
It's based on
in the sector of the sales.
So that poses the next question. So if a team member is not pulling his weight, but he's still enjoying all those commission because his team is just good, how would you feel about such situation? Has it ever happened? What is that like?
Oh, yeah,
Hot
that's a
take,
good one.
hot take, hot
That's a good
take.
one.
It's a hot take. Do your thing, 21. That's all I can say. I mean,
Let's go.
I'm gonna be annoyed. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna be annoyed. But if I'm getting paid too, like, what else can I really do? I'm not gonna try to get you fired. Like, that's your manager's job. I feel like at the end of the day, like, it's whoever your manager is. It's their job to
see
manage.
that.
That's their responsibility. It's not mine.
I feel you, but
I'm
you know,
also
broski
not
ain't doing
doing
shit though.
So
Broski, you're not doing nothing.
But you know what?
What you want me to do?
Hey manager, let me tell you my roles.
I mean, I feel like it's your manager's job though,
Right.
so
to catch
for me, as long as I'm still getting what I
paid,
want,
right.
and if I'm
point,
getting the
yeah.
perks of being a good employee,
Yeah.
which are probably still going to be better perks than that person's,
Yeah.
I can't really care. I'm getting paid anyway, so yeah,
I wouldn't mind working on a
I've
team
been
like
that
that. You
person
know?
everybody, I feel like most people have been that person at one point in time in their career. I,
Right.
at one time, was having a full-time job. I had a part-time job on the weekends, and I was going to school and getting my MBA. I was not the top performer, but give me my cheese.
Well,
Give me my little change.
Yeah,
Okay?
I feel you. Yeah.
So I can't necessarily, like, some people have like personal stuff going on, or they could not be, like, everybody has their things. So I don't want to take it personally that somebody is not trying to perform or exceed to the level that I am, because we may not have the same ambitions. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's up to their manager to manage them.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. I feel you on that. I feel you.
And like I feel like that's a reach though. I don't think everybody on the team is gonna be equal in terms of like performance.
no.
It's never
yeah.
gonna be like that.
Yeah.
So
And I think it's gonna be ebbs and flows too, right? Like,
Exactly.
people go through personal stuff, like, people go through things, so it's just like, it just is what it is. We are a team though. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're a team, so it's just like,
from my experience, right? It's more about efforts. I don't even mind if you're doing the work. I just want to see you're engaged or you're trying. That's all.
I'm just saying, fake me out. Fake me out. Act like you're working.
Yeah.
Act like you exactly.
But don't be asking me to help you, or like, as long as they don't interfere with me and what I have going on, I don't have a problem. But when it starts affecting me, or I start having to do more work, then we probably will have more of an issue.
Yeah.
Or if they acting like they so stressed and they're not working, because that can happen too.
Right.
And so I want to pivot a little bit. So there's direct sales, and then there's what you're doing where you're in the partner ecosystem. It's like, what would you say for someone that is transitioning into tech? What route do you feel like would be a lot more like easier for them to get into, or is it about the same?
So I would say easier. It might be direct, maybe. I would say easier and maybe direct. Because in the partner ecosystem, again, like I said before, it's relationship based. So people are really, at this point, the industry that I'm in is fairly mature. So a lot of these partners have been in the industry or at these companies for 30 years plus. So they know everybody. So when they're hiring people, they want to hire somebody that already knows, and they don't have to, start from scratch. I worked in a technical role at my previous company, but I still was in the partner ecosystem.
Gotcha.
So I still kind of was familiar with the way it worked.
Okay.
So I would probably say direct.
Would be the best.
Because you can start low level. You know what I'm saying? Like, they be hiring direct. I mean, they hire salespeople all the time because they, depending on the company, they're going to quit anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if you don't perform, you're going to get fired. So
the turnover
it's just
rate is like, it's insane in sales. Yeah.
Because it's like a big risk, but it's a big return.
Yeah,
I feel
exactly.
Like. Whereas where I am, it's a little less risky and more stable. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't say that it's super easy to just transition into that role. And a lot of people don't know what it is. Even at my company,
honestly,
a lot of people don't know what it is. Even at my company, it's like they don't know or understand what we do, and it's just like, okay. but most of the deals that y'all work is the partner on it. Like, how y'all
Right.
think the partner got here? Yeah, so that's, you know.
Yeah, they're
but
just there for the bag.
Yeah,
back.
honestly,
Yeah.
the back for real.
So like, what would you say are the like common challenges being faced like getting like into this role, like into this space?
I would just say oversaturation to me
Yeah.
right now. I would say that is a problem. Like, I
Wow,
think that
even your field?
yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. I feel
There's a lot
like
of people in
it's
it.
a lot of eyes on tech right now.
There
Like,
is.
so when I started at the company that I was at previously, it was pre-cloud, right? Like, there's been a cloud boom since 2020, and everybody has their eyes on the tech industry. Every
Yep.
technology company wants a bigger piece of the pie. They
Yeah,
just don't
course.
want to be known for what they're known for. They're going into other spaces,
spaces,
Yeah.
because it's easier, because they have clouds, or like they own the cloud that everybody else is using. So it's a lot of eyes on it, and I feel like everybody is, trying to be in the industry. I mean,
They are.
as they should.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing,
Yeah.
but I do think that it makes it harder when you lose jobs, because there is a lot of layoffs happening because of the economy, to find another job. And then there's more competition, because now there are people
There's a lot
that
of people
weren't,
who-
in the industry before, maybe willing to work for less, or, whatever, to get those positions. So,
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's very true. Do you experience a lot of layoff in sales?
So I have experienced a few layoffs.
Damn.
Yeah, I have never been affected by that, but it was a traumatic experience. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was scared.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, like,
Yeah,
when I
that's
say
scary.
stressed,
Who's
I don't
next?
smoke, but I was gonna smoke a cigarette. I was like, where's the call? Where's my manager? What's happening? Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Oh,
but
I know,
yeah,
it's
at my
terrifying.
I've experienced a few layoffs, and they were in different departments, but my department specifically had a layoff that happened,
Yeah.
and they took our team and sliced it in half.
Oh, my gosh.
And just luckily,
Whoa.
I was on the half
half
that
that
got to
didn't got
stay.
fired.
Right.
But there were people that I started with on my first day
Oh, my gosh.
that left. So I'm not gonna
Damn.
lie, y'all. I was sad when I got off work. I was drinking for my friends. I was like, man, I gotta
Yeah,
post
like,
something
because
out
that's
for my dead
Where
terrifying.
the tequila at?
yeah,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, this is so sad. Yeah, so
That's
it was
terrifying.
and then even from the other departments, I had been at that company for a year, so I had developed so many relationships across departments. So that's how I kept finding out that more departments were being affected, because they did some of them on our all hands call, but then there were
What?
some silent ones, right? Like, they announced hey, we're cutting this department. You know what I'm
Jesus.
saying? Specifically.
Jesus.
And it was my department, and I was like, whoo.
Yep.
So again, I was stressed for 2
My
hours.
God.
I've experienced that before.
have?
And if you are the person having to disable those accounts, you feel very
Ooh.
different.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
Wow,
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
had to do that? That's so sad.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know what your
Oh, that's so
experience has
sad.
been, but mine was it was 2 days. They gave Wednesday, it was Friday. Everybody's
No.
gone.
Right.
So I don't know
Whoa.
what your experience was but that was
That's so
what I
rough.
experienced.
Oh my
That's quick
gosh.
though.
Yeah.
That's-
Is that how quick it happened, or
Oh
did
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
They just came to my office. Kobe, we need this and this done. They said it was remove their emails.
Oh yeah, they said with them
that,
counts.
that.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Quick.
Quick,
But then
take it
after
out.
you sleep on it, you'll be like, bro, damn.
Damn.
Yes.
Imagine if this was me.
Yes, it's so sad. But I will say this. I will say this one thing about being in the tech industry is when those things do happen, typically you are taken care of. It's not a situation
yeah.
where you're
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They typically, when they make those decisions, they have severance packages.
Packages, right.
Even,
Oh, yeah, of course.
even a lot of companies were helping people try to find jobs.
Oh,
'Cause
good.
in 2022,
Yeah.
I want to say that's when a lot of the layoffs happened across technology companies, and I met a lot of people in 22 and 23 who had got laid off at that time, they did. So a lot of companies did a lot of downsizing,
Yeah.
but they did take care of them.
the people after.
Yeah, sometimes they got a year of severance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
Sometimes
if you
2
start,
years.
yeah.
Yep.
That's
So if you
crazy.
start working a new job, you still get your severance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
you might as well have
Double
kept me if that
pay.
was the
Yeah,
case.
double
Double
pay.
pay,
Yeah.
bro. That's
So-
Now I
crazy.
want 2 checks.
Yeah.
I want my new job
That's
check
true.
and my severance
That's
check.
true.
And you
Everything.
still get your health benefits and
Yeah,
everything.
Oh, yeah,
for
of
that
course,
year.
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
some of that stuff extends. So
Oh, okay.
it wasn't as
so
bad.
in your space, right? What could cause a big layoff like that?
I think that one, like I said, oversaturation. Technology is also moving extremely fast. So a lot of these companies that may be doing things the old way and haven't fully like ramped up or transitioned or got fully in the cloud, like it's easy to get left behind because there are some major technology companies like Google that are hopping in this space, right? Like Google and Amazon, like who can hire the best talent, who can build the stuff as fast as them, but we also have 30 years of like knowledge and industry. You get what I'm saying? So, but if you don't continue to
grow,
innovate, grow, innovate, and scale, scaling is like, I feel like something that's really important, and that's one why a lot of people want to go to the cloud so that they can scale faster. But it also means that from a technology perspective, it's like you can build faster, you can deploy faster, you can fix faster. You have to just, it's all sprint. It's all sprint for features, functionality, improvements, and you gotta just keep running.
Keep running, because like I feel you on that, because like that's what I tell people, right, that are trying to get into the tech space. Like it's not a sprint, like it's a marathon, it's a journey.
It's a marathon.
You're gonna have to still be on your shit for 10, 15 years to come, because
it's always changing. It changes every week. You know what I'm saying? It's like something is new.
It's always out.
My previous company, I was in, like when I was in that tech role, they had 10 features released every Wednesday.
Damn. What? That's a lot of work, though.
That's like playing whack-a-mole. It's like, as soon as I learn how to do this, it's like something else is coming out new. And then, of course, like customers, we're consumers. You always want the newest iPhone. You always want like the, whatever is the latest and greatest, that's what you want. So as someone who was in a tech role, you had to know that stuff, right? So it was like, that was one of the things that I really loved about that. It was that you just were constantly learning. You just had to keep learning and like growing your mind and like expanding your thoughts, or like understanding new problems and how to solve them.
That could be a lot of pressure though, because everyone educating the customers.
Absolutely. Did I tell you I got a new role? Did I tell you I did technical?
10 features like, it's a lot, because even just for like one feature, there's like a whole lot of like background process, like DevOps, Scrum,
so
all that.
I can't even get into that. I can't even think about that part. I'm like, all I know is what's in front of me, but there is a lot that goes into it. And a lot of planning.
Interesting.
Also, I think I'm going to pivot a little bit again. I think what really makes your story very, very unique is the fact that you were a social worker that transitioned into technology. You worked for Apple, and then now you work for a tech sales company. And I think that's truly remarkable, and it's a testament that the everyday person can be like you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I want you to tell the great people like about the other things that you're doing, your public speaking and the conferences that you go to. Would you mind telling them a little bit more?
Yes. So I am very passionate about public speaking. I've been going to a group here in Houston called Toastmasters. So I was doing Toastmasters. It's just a way for you to, I guess, hone your public speaking skills. And I joined one of the committees, so I was the secretary for them for like for a year, doing speeches, helping, giving feedback. It's really like a two-way relationship, right? Because you get to see someone and what they're great at, and you get to give them critiques on what they can improve on, but you also take what's great for them and what critiques you have for them, and then you use it on yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. So it's like it was such a great experience. I'm thinking about going to a conference in DC called the National Black MBA Association. They're having a conference.
MBA. I went to one of them though.
You've been?
Yeah. That one was in Atlanta. It was in 2022.
Yeah.
So my school that I was doing my like master's with at the time.
Yeah.
They sponsored like I think 3 of us to go.
Wow.
Yeah, ticket, everything.
Yeah.
It was a good one though.
Okay.
It was a good one.
Free students, you must be really special, man.
Yeah. I mean,
come on, bro. Don't play out of 4.0. Stop playing, man.
We love a smart king.
That's all I know.
But yeah, so I'm thinking about going to that next month. Of course, Afrotech. I went to Afrotech last year. It's here, so
we
have no choice. Yeah, we have no choice. Like, it's like the family reunion. It's the barbecue. So I'm gonna go to that. just working on just like finding other speaking opportunities like
Yeah.
this. This is really awesome. Thank you guys for
Of
inviting me.
course.
This is amazing. I've had a great time. But yeah, looking for some leadership opportunities and just more public speaking.
Yeah, I really wanted to give you your flowers because it's truly remarkable. A lot of people that I work with are working like as nurses, or they're just working in different fields where they don't think it's possible for them. And like, just when I heard your story, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And it was so organic in the way it happened too that I wanted to highlight that area.
Thank you.
Yeah. And also, before we close out, like in a few minutes here, what are some gems you would like to give to our listeners and our viewers about, even it could be direct sales, tech sales, wanting to transition into it, or someone that's in it? Like, what are some gems?
I think my gems are really just gonna be for just like career advice, right? Like I don't want to give somebody a blueprint to something they might not want to go into.
Right.
I feel like for us as people, we need to be confident in who we are and what we bring to the table. And if something is for you, it's gonna open a door. And if you need to leave, God is gonna find ways to push you out of it. So I think just being confident and continuing to know what your options are. Again, it's like dating. Like, you cannot marry a job. No, seriously, you can't marry a company because, like how we talked about, like, layoffs happen. So you need to consistently just be knowing, you know what I'm saying, what the offers are, what the industry is, you know what I'm saying, where things are changing and how you can possibly get in those spaces, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But just don't get complacent. Just stay hungry. Stay just applying and doing interviews just for no reason, just to know like what they're paying people now. Or what the benefit packages look like now, like things that you can go back to your company and advocate for yourself for. Also advocate for yourself. Like, I cannot say this enough. Like, advocate for yourself. If you do something, big it up. Send an email. Just copy everybody on it that might care once it's finished. Like, make sure that you're, like, showing people
what you do.
Yeah, that you're successful. And if you want to be a part of something or something you don't want to be a part of it, like, advocate for yourself. Like, just don't think that your employer has the most power because they don't want to lose you either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a person that has value, but consistently showing your value and being vocal about your value is also going to make sure that people understand what you bring to the company.
That's some great advice. I might even take it for myself.
For sure. Yeah, but I think that right now I'm in a season of LinkedIn is your best friend for your career. And do not use it for your job. Like, your whole LinkedIn should be about you and your accomplishments. You get what I'm saying? Or it should be about you and your thoughts or your passions or your interests.
Right.
But build your brand. Like, people just want to know that you're going to conferences, that you're investing in yourself, or that you understand, you know what I'm saying, what's going on in your world. So I think that that's another thing that people don't take advantage of enough. And just consistently using their LinkedIn to brand themselves, because that's where your future employers are going to look.
Definitely.
Yeah, LinkedIn is one of those big places. Like, I know of somebody that literally got recruited from Netflix because she has so much visibility on LinkedIn. Like, people, their eyes on her, so they know about her.
And that's what I had to tell myself. I'm like, we'll post on Instagram when we go out the country or when we put on a nice outfit or when it's our birthday. So I'm like, why would you accomplish something at work?
Why do you
not talk about that? Like, this is what's actually funding these Instagram lifestyles, right? Like, so you need to make sure that your employers understand, like, the things that you've been doing or ways that you are, developing yourself personally. And develop yourself. Like, try to find a conference. Try to find some type of opportunity to grow your skill set every year. Like, just go somewhere. Even when I went to Afrotech, like, I put Afrotech in my bio last year. People was just like connecting with me because I had Afrotech in my bio. You know what I'm saying? Or like, most people don't do things to develop themselves professionally outside of work. Maybe they have families, but we're young in our careers, so it's like, use this time to really do that. Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Thank you for the
Yeah,
gems. I
for
really
sure.
appreciate it. I'm going to fix my LinkedIn. It's been so dull.
Yes,
like,
rebrand to LinkedIn.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be super professional or I'm
Yeah.
amazing. It's like, what do you care about?
Yeah. What
People
do you
care
do?
about that too.
Yeah. I only pick up my LinkedIn when it's time to look for jobs.
To be
That
honest,
can't be
man.
the only time.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, but I've been building a lot of connections. I've been meeting a lot of people and just being intentional about just saying like, hey, let's get on 30-minute Zoom.
Yeah.
Like that's what I found. I found a really great mentor
Right.
Wow.
through doing stuff like that. So it's just like continue to work on that too. Don't just work on your job.
Right.
Work on your career.
And your
Like
network.
that's
Yeah.
Keep growing.
work on your
Yeah.
career. Yeah.
I shot my shot on LinkedIn before and it didn't land. So
What kind
maybe
of shot,
I didn't do
though?
it right.
We didn't talk about dating, so I need to clarify. Shot did you shoot?
No, not a dating shot, but more
Okay.
so a networking shot. Like,
Okay.
oh, can we go grab? I think we asked her, can we go like grab drinks or something like that? And I don't know, she didn't reply. So I'm like, maybe I was too strong in my approach, or like, how would you approach people?
Maybe there's an act to it.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe start with the Zoom, like meeting up in. You got it's like dating. Like you kind of gotta like let's meet on Zoom for a little bit, feel a little vibe, and then
Gotta go on
on the
FaceTime
Zoom.
first.
Yeah.
Gotta go on FaceTime before you wait.
She noticed that.
Yeah.
Apply that there too.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before you bring out the wallet, right?
Yeah. She like a date.
Yeah.
No.
I was like, let's catch up. Let's go meet for drinks. And
Yeah,
I
but
didn't hear
Zoom.
nothing,
You know what I'm
but-
saying? Say like you got 30 minutes next Friday.
Yeah.
To just hop on Zoom and we just talk. I just want to get to know you.
Right.
Small
Yeah,
steps.
and then from there you can be like, "Oh, girl, this is so fun. Can
Yeah.
let's go to happy hour?" Like maybe coffee shop first.
Coffee
Coffee
shop,
shop.
okay.
That's the appropriate time to
Yeah.
ask for a coffee shop date.
Right.
That's
Okay.
the only time, fellas. No,
You know? Okay, thanks
Close
for the
out.
game. Thanks for the game. All right, y'all. I think
Right.
that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Diondra.
Yes.
We appreciate your time. Thank y'all for viewing and listening, you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll leave her details in the bio, so please reach out if you need, anything in regards to what we talked about today. And thank you. All right.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Peace out.
Peace out, guys.